Hi everyone and welcome to more Red Rock and Chocolate Milk. This little piece of paradise is Cyprus, and today we're diving the MS Zenobia. The Zenobia is a Swedish-built roll-on roll-off ferry that sank on her maiden voyage on June 7, 1980, near Larnaca, Cyprus. The 10,000 gross registered ton ferry is 172.2 meters long, has a beam of 28 meters, and lies today on her port side in about 42 meters of water. This is my first dive on the Zenobia, so we will stay outside the wreck to check my somewhat unfamiliar gear configuration because the airlines clearly have enough money since they didn't want to allow me to buy any additional luggage. While descending on this impressively large wreck, let's quickly recap its history. The Zenobia left Malmö, Sweden for her maiden voyage on May 4th, 1980. Bound for Tartus, Syria, she entered the Mediterranean on May 22nd and continued her journey towards her first stop in Heraklion, Crete. She then continued towards Piraeus near Athens when the crew noticed steering problems and the Zenobia began listing to port. Following some checks, excess water in the ballast tanks were determined to be the cause of the list. Upon removing the excess water, the Zenobia continued her journey towards her next scheduled stop at Larnaca, Cyprus. She arrived at Larnaca on June 2nd, but the ballast issue had reoccurred. On June 4th, she was towed about 1 kilometer out to sea and left at anchor to prevent her from obstructing the port should she founder. By June 5th, she had developed a 45-degree list, and on June 7th, around 2:30 a.m., she capsized, coming to her final resting place where we are now. At the time of her sinking, she had quite a large number of trucks on her weather deck. Many of these have fallen off, so there is quite a lot of stuff to rummage through on the seabed. There are also many partial overhead areas where you can try out everything before fully entering the wreck. Amongst the random stuff off the side of the wreck, I spot something that, from afar, looks like a ball bearing. Upon picking it up, though, it turns out to just be a spool. I shouldn't have left it there. A bit of beach cleanup is always a good thing, and one can never have enough safety spools. So if someone needs a perfectly fine spool, you know where to find it. And unfortunately, the lionfish invasion has made it to the Mediterranean as well. Anyone coming with a zookeeper is going to have a field day here. While we make our way towards the stern, let's return to the cause of the sinking. Apparently, the Zenobia had a new computerized pumping system controlling the ballast. It appears that the sensors were miscalibrated or some software issue caused the system to think that the ferry was listing when in fact it was perfectly upright. So, to correct the apparent list, the system started filling ballast into the portside ballast tanks, which then actually caused her to develop a noticeable list and caused the steering issues. Whether it was calibration error or a software bug, it clearly seems to be a very small thing that eventually caused her demise. And here we can see her portside funnel. I always find it funny to see how small an exhaust pipe there is compared to the size of the funnel. Clearly, there must be some form of visual allure to ships having large funnels. Or maybe the exhaust pipes sticking out all by themselves look odd for people to build so much structure around. If someone knows the exact reason, I'd be happy to hear it. This lionfish here wants to check my buoyancy now. How to get underneath that ledge without getting spiked by a lionfish? I mean, one can swim around the lionfish, but where's the fun in that? A few moments later, my guide shows me something I totally would have missed underneath these plates. These are 45-year-old chicken eggs. They feel quite light underwater, although they do still sink, which is quite surprising to me. I would have expected them to be positively buoyant. These are the kissing trucks. How they ended up like this is beyond me, but whatever sequence of events made them come to rest in this way, they now are a nice swim through. And here we have a couple of nudibranchs. I doubt they'll show up on the video, but I guess the Zenobia even has something for macro photographers. With that, we've also made it to the stern. Looking up that 28-meter wide loading ramp is quite a sight. At the other end of the stern, we get to view the rudders and props. After making our way back topside, we start slowly ascending through the aft castle and deck rubble. Sometimes I just gotta wonder, how is this stable? I mean, it clearly has been hanging like this for decades, so there's gotta be some stability, but how? Here we have another one of these cases. Like, it's been 45 years with currents and storms. How has this not tipped over yet? What's holding it up like this? This massive black void must be the entrance to the upper cargo deck. Going there is not planned for this dive, we've already racked up quite a bit of deco. But on our next dive, we'll explore this space. Instead, we'll head over to the lifeboats, which luckily didn't need to be deployed as everyone was evacuated before the sinking. Our open circuit buddy is now switching to his 50% stage to get started on his deco as well. The bubble bath to our right indicates that we're back at the shot line. Just another 15 minutes of deco to do and we'll be back at the boat to prep our next dive on the Zenobia.